Today I'm going to talk about a cassette CD boombox player that I picked up. It's a Panasonic RX-ED50. This is a really nice unit and I like it a lot. I think it's one of the last boomboxes that were actually built that still had a cassette player and cassette recorder built into it. In fact, this system has actually two of them. What I really like about this unit is, for example, that the CD tray comes out, which I think is pretty nifty for a portable cassette player. Also, if you hit the tape buttons here, the door comes up automatically, and the other one too. As far as the cassette recorder frequency response is concerned, it's 30 to 16,000 hertz for normal tape and 30 to 17,000 hertz for chrome tape. That's about the best I've seen so far on any boombox that I ran across. It also has AM, FM radio, of course, and with the remote control that comes with it, you can actually have 12 preset radio stations that you can call back, either AM or FM. And let me see what else here. This thing also has a clock. If I shut it off and zoom a little bit here, you can see it showing the time, which is 6:48 or 1848. And this thing, this Panasonic, it can also be used as an alarm clock. It can actually wake you up, and of course it's got like a sleep function. It has a sleep function too. The unit also has 4 equalization presets. There's actually a button for that. You can either set it up. One setting is called XBS. It's for rock music, basically. Makes everything a lot, I would say, bolder. Then you have another setting that's called clear, and a third setting that's called soft, and a fourth setting which is vocal. I guess it's for the human voice. And then of course you can also shut the equalization completely off too. That is possible. There it is right there. Another thing this thing has is called, let me see what the button is at. It's called it's here on the remote control. It's called a sound virtualizer. It's supposed to give like a 3D effect. I just have to turn it up a tiny little bit. Yeah, it does do a little something. I don't know if I would actually call it like 3D though. There are actually only 2 speakers in this unit, one on the left and one on the right. They cover all ranges. You would think that makes like for a not so good sound, but no, this actually sounds pretty good. These speakers are pretty good. Speakers are rated at 6 ohms each. I mean, I can't really show how good this Panasonic sounds by making a video, But if you would be here now and I would put it through all its paces, you would actually be, I believe, impressed. Of course, since it doesn't have any large woofers in here, I mean, you're not going to be able to bring the house down if that's your intent. For that, you would use a full-size stereo system in the first place. So what about power? Well, of course it can be run on AC, and it can also be run on DC. It takes 8 what they call D batteries. They're the large ones, and then you also have to use 4 AA batteries. That's for the microprocessor and the clock. Oh yeah, and the total power consumption is 30 watts. In the back, as far as jacks are concerned on this unit, you have a phone jack here that takes, looks like this is not a full-size jack, it's one of these smaller jacks. It's kind of like the same jack you have on your cell phone. I think that's like a 3.5 millimeter. Also, you have an Aux input, which is also the same size. So basically, you could hook up another CD player or a cassette player or your MP3 player or your cell phone, providing, of course, you have the right cable. As I said, this is also a small, looks like a 3.5 millimeter jack. I haven't used it yet, and I don't think I ever will. This also, I don't think I'm going to go ahead and experiment on this unit because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it works, don't break it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the box itself intact, the cassette boombox intact. In total, I think it weighs about 10 pounds, and it's supposedly around 49 centimeters long, wide, and about 29 centimeters basically deep, and it's almost 15 centimeters high. I mean, it has kind of a squat. It is kind of squat actually, but I don't think that's a problem at all because it's actually pretty stylish and good sounding box in my opinion. So if you get the chance, go ahead and pick one up. You won't regret it. The remote control, I've used that, and it's actually the keyboard layout is actually pretty decent. It's not all convoluted like some of them are. We're all crazy. You can actually find everything clearly, and of course it takes batteries. Those are, looks like there's 2 AA batteries in here. You got that, and then you're ready to go. As far as the power output is concerned, this thing supposedly puts out 20 watts continuous RMS, which is for a boombox, I'd say pretty good. So that's 10 watts per channel. That's not like, it's not like some of the manufacturers, when they, if you ever looked at the specs for boombox, they would say like it's rated at dynamic power or music power or something. That's all kind of fudging. RMS, continuous RMS, that's actually the standard. So I'll have to give this unit a gold star for putting out that much. Oh, and before I forget to mention it, this Panasonic also, it can read CDs which you've made yourself, CDR or CDR, W, the rewritable ones. Of course, what it can't do, you can't put MP3 files on here. It's not going to be able to read that. But if you have, if you just burn a regular music CD, you're not going to have a problem with it at all. That's the, see, that's the CD I burnt myself, that I had burnt myself.